Hello everyone. The Wi-Fi went out like entirely, and it caused the stream to end. It had like an internet connection error. So now we're back. I suppose this will be a part two kind of thing, and then I'm going to have to just continue where I left off in the last stream. It kind of sucks that it didn't realize that we had a previous stream, and let me just resume that. That would have been cool. Let's see. So right now, okay. So I see something that has like a counter for the previous stream up, which is there we go. Okay, we disconnected for a second and we're back. It sucks that the internet keeps like going in and out on us. That's pretty lame. Hopefully, we won't have any additional issues. Fingers crossed on that. Let me make sure that the live chat that I'm looking at is the right live chat. Yeah, so now there are two separate streams for today, so I gotta relabel this one to be like it's gonna be like part two or something like that. I think I just clicked on the wrong one. I think I clicked on the old stream because they're currently labeled the same thing. There we go. Yeah, and it says that the internet connection right now is kind of rough. So yeah, I don't know why the internet's acting weird. I suppose I need to set up the tags on this one now. So give me one moment to set up the tags and description. I can just legitimately use the same description that I used for part one on part two. So this shouldn't be an issue at all. So I just go part two and then grab that other description. I believe the last thing I was talking about was hanging out with Danica in class. We had just started talking about, well, we had just finished up talking about fears, I think. And we were comparing ambulophobia to agoraphobia, the fear of going outside. Yeah, I remember where I was. I was talking about how Danica's friend had a fear of cotton balls, and we discussed that in class for a little bit before class started. And I thought that was interesting because our friend who's afraid of cotton balls has very specific parameters for like when her fear is triggered versus when it isn't. Like her friend isn't afraid of Q-tips, she isn't afraid of cotton pads, but she is afraid of giant like soft carpets that are like similar to cotton balls. She's not afraid of wet cotton balls, and like she has like a lot of specifics to the conditions in which she becomes afraid of cotton balls. She also claims that she's not afraid of like seeing cotton balls. It's not a visual thing. She's afraid of touching cotton balls. And I think that's like odd. I have a weird fear in my own right. I have, I believe it's called trypophobia, but it's a fear of holes, and it's mainly a fear of holes like in the skin. Sometimes if I see certain like structures that have holes in them, what my brain does is it then imagines it on skin. So it may not even be a picture of someone with like holes in their body. It can be like a picture of just something that has like a weird hole base like texture, and then your mind automatically puts that on a person, and you're just like no, like you just don't vibe with it. But I find it very alarming. It's not scared as in like you see it and you run away or like you see it and you cry, but it's just like a strong feeling of uncomfortability where you're like, I'd prefer not to look at this. Sometimes I'll Google trypophobia and I'll just look at the pictures just to like try and train myself off of it, like to see if I can like get past it and not feel it. But I still feel it. I'll do it for like a little bit, but it's not something that I feel like I can just exposure therapy my way through. Maybe I've just never done it long enough. Who knows? Um, but we talked about fears for a little bit. And then, yeah, we talked about the superpower thing. So once we got past talking about fears, Danica and I talked about a world where kids had superpowers, like the next generation of kids. And I asked Danica questions about like if your kid has superpowers, but it wasn't a commonplace thing. Like let's say like just Danica's kid happened to have superpowers, but not everybody had superpowers. Would you let your kid become a superhero? If so, at what age? Would you limit when your kid was allowed to use their powers based off of how old they were? And would you like ask your kid to like hide their abilities? And Danica's like, no, I wouldn't ask my kid to hide their abilities. Depending on what power they had, I would have my kid only use their powers when they hit like a certain age. And she said that she'd allow her child, if they had superpowers, to fight crime at like 15 or 16 years old. She's like, but no time before that. And I was like, what if your kid had power? Because I mean, in the hypothetical, your kid would have powers. I was like, if your kid had powers, what if your kid was just like, no, like you can't tell me what to do, kind of thing. And Danica's like, I will make him not use his powers. And I guess like the power of your mom is strong, even if you have powers. Uh, I do think your mom might be able to stop you. It depends on like how strict of a household you run. I imagine you'd have to be a little more strict if your kid had powers and you didn't. But I mainly talked about that. I tried to get up an interesting topic on who would win in a fight, Wolverine versus Red Tornado, because Red Tornado is my favorite superhero, and Wolverine is Danica's favorite superhero. But Danica admitted that she didn't know a lot about Red Tornado in order to have such a like conversation, and then I had to admit that I didn't know a lot about Wolverine, so I couldn't have like that conversation, so it immediately dropped out. I feel like if me and Danica did know enough about both characters, that'd be a very interesting conversation. I still think that Red Tornado would probably goot Wolverine, but I do need to learn more about him. Dozer said, wouldn't it be similar to the public's opinion toward mutants in Marvel? The idea of the next generation of like kids having superpowers? Possibly, because I understand where you're coming from. It depends on if it was a negatively responded to thing or not. The one thing that I don't like about Marvel's mutants is that within the continuity of Marvel, it doesn't make sense for people to fear and hate mutants because they love normal superheroes that don't identify as mutants. So I think it's kind of weird that people celebrate the Fantastic Four, but they then hate the X Men. I just have never really understood that. Um, so I'm not sure if people would hate people with powers or not. Because I feel like it doesn't make sense within like Marvel's own universe. What are your thoughts? Do you think it would be similar to how like the Marvel universe treats mutants, or do you think it would be different considering like how things in real life are a little bit different? Dozer said, "I feel like a lot of people would be scared. Bad guys with powers would make people fear mutants at first." Interesting. Do you think, let's say, we suddenly had like people gaining mutant powers? So instead of it being the kids born with it, let's say there was like some kind of event, like uh, like a hero style event where they had like an eclipse or whatever, and then afterwards certain people just got powers. What do you think we would see first? Do you think we would see criminals using powers at first, or do you think we would see people starting to do like superhero shit first? Because I do think that would be a good question. Because I feel like both would exist, but I feel like whatever people saw first could heavily sway public opinion on whether or not heroes were good or bad. Yo, Kels, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. Kels, I have three questions for you. How's your day today? Do you have any topics you'd like to discuss? And do you have any questions for your boy? Right now, we're talking about a world where people have superpowers and whether or not certain people have superpowers and it's sudden, like suddenly people have powers. We're talking about public opinion, whether or not people would be okay with people having powers or if people would be like, no, we don't support it. The question that I just asked Dozer is, what do you think we would see first in that world? Do you think we would see like a superheroes first, or we would see super villains first? What do you think would like appear? Um, do, 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 do. Another thing that me and Danica talked about was would you rather talk to animals or turn into animals? Danica would prefer to turn into animals, where I personally would prefer to just talk to animals. Danica says she would like the experience of like flying, so she want to be able to turn into a bird and fly around as a bird. And I'm like, I would rather be able to talk to animals and like befriend them on like a personal level. And then if I needed access to like animal abilities, I could just call upon my animal friends to like help me rather than me have to do it myself. Kel said his day is good. That's good to hear. He said, "Can I read some more of his fanfic that he read?" Of course. And did I see the new Bright Eye support you made? Yes, I did see the new Bright Eye support you made. I actually, while I was looking at the card, I was hanging out with your boy Aiden, and Aiden looked at the card, and he said, "Blue Eyes White Dragon," and then he said, "Blue Eyes White Bitch. Her name's Tammy," and he made a joke about instead of Blue Eyes White Dragon being a dragon, it's just like an Aryan girl, more or less. And then Jonathan was talking about how cool Blue Eyes White Dragon was when he was first introduced in the show, but then how he didn't care as much for Blue Eyes White Dragon when he learned that you could buy it in the store, because in the show the card's really rare. But in the store, you can buy like a Kaiba like structure deck and it just has blue eyes in it. And he was like, "Oh, this is lame." But yes, I did see the Bright Eyes support that you made, and I did like it because it was the support that we had talked about the other day, where we needed a card where no matter where a Bright Eyes card was banished, you could get utility from it, and that's exactly what you made. So I was really down for that. And yeah, I can pull up the amino on my screen and I can start reading your fan fiction. I'm really excited to hear what Dozer's thoughts were on that last question that I asked him. Nani said hello. He said, "Nice to see you." Yo, Nani, got three questions for you. For one, how's your day today? Two, do you have any discussion topics that you like to go over? And three, do you have any questions for your boy? Then Chupa jumped on. Yo, Chupa, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. Three questions for you. How's your day today? Do you have any discussion topics that you like to share? And do you have any questions for your boy? But yeah, I'm gonna start opening up the amino now. Do 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 do. Hey, hey, do 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 do. Don't forget to smash that like button. Boom. Okay, let's see. Right now, I'm trying to open up that amino. There we go. Oh, there was more Bright Eye support than I thought originally. I originally only saw Bright Eyes Dimension, which was the card that I was just bragging on. But there's another Bright Eyes card, Bright Odd Eyes Diamond Dragon and Bright Odd Eyes Riot Dragon. Okay, I'm gonna look at that support real quick. So, Bright Odd Eyes Diamond Dragon. Whoa, hold on. I do want to look at that support, but I'm also talking about my day, and I'm really close to finishing up talking about my day. So me and Danica talked in class. We had a good time. After me and Danica talked, I went over to Aiden's to hang out for a bit. My new favorite WWE match from today was a Sky Pirates tag team match I saw while I was at Aiden's. Winslow, by the way, doesn't vibe with wrestling too much. He recognizes that it's fake, and because of that, he can't like really get hype about it. Same thing with Black David. I recognize that it's fake, but so are like comic books and like superhero movies and stuff like that. You can still get into the story and like to like watch the fights. But the Sky Pirates are like a women's tag team wrestling group, and I watched a match where one of the Sky Pirates picked up one of their team members and held them over her head like this, and then dropped her team member out of her arms while her team member was like this, and she elbow dropped someone after being dropped out of the sky by her teammate. I was like, what? I've never seen some shit like that in my life. So I'm a big Sky Pirates fan. They're part of WWE Next or NXT, and the whole point of WWE NXT is to figure out who will be the next big wrestlers in WWE, and I want Sky Pirates to be next. Every match I see with them is crazy. Also, while I was at Winslow's, I did a rap hangout live stream, which I felt like wasn't as good as the last one we did, I feel like those streams where we're just on camera freestyling work best when you have like a long time because I feel like we slowly get better as we go and pick up steam. But because we ended up doing such a short stream, it just wasn't as good as it like could have been. Then Nani's like, "You left." I did leave. I knew that I needed to get back to my dorm around 11 or so I could exercise and shower before the stream. I ended up having to delay the stream a little bit because of the fact that I decided I was also going to eat, and I didn't allot enough time for me to exercise, shower, and eat before midnight. So I ended up starting the stream about like 40 minutes or so later than I originally planned. Then Nani said, "Why did you delete it?" Why did I delete what? Because I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't delete the Winslow stream, if that's what you're asking. That's definitely still on the channel. Let's see. Right. So that was everything that I did today. Because after I hung out at Winslow's, I went back to my dorm, exercised, ate, showered, and bam, now I'm doing the stream. So like I said, I'm looking at those bright odd eyes Diamond Dragon cards. Nani said the stream with Winslow. I didn't delete it. I can check to verify what you're talking about, but that should definitely just be on the channel. Also, Dozer said that he saw it, and you were on air. Like, I know you saw it. So, I guess what you'd be asking is where is it on the channel? Because it should just be in, like, the newest uploads. I'll check the dashboard. Yeah, it's right there. It's in my public videos. So, yeah, it's definitely still on the channel. So, I don't know what you mean. Let's see. So looking back, Bright Odd Eyes Diamond Dragon. These are some of Kel's custom cards that he made for the Bright Eyes archetype. It requires two level 7 dragon type monsters. This card can only be Xyz summoned by targeting one Xyz monster you control and treating its rank as if it was its level. What? It can only be summoned if you already have an Xyz monster and then you treat its rank as its level. This card is always treated as Bright Eyes as well as Odd Eyes. You can banish one Xyz material from this card, special summon Bright Eyes and Odd Eyes cards from your hand, deck, graveyard, banish zone, and or face up in the extra deck to the field, equal to the number of cards your opponent controls. Then this card gains 500 attack for each card summoned. Hold on. Why is that effect so good? Because I think that's a little too strong. How much attack does that monster have already? 3,000? Kells, this is a little broken. Not gonna lie. So, what gets me, right? Let's say your opponent has a full board. Your opponent has 5 monsters on field. But let's say those 5 monsters aren't very tough. Maybe your opponent played Scapegoat and they have like 5 tokens on the field or some shit like that. Or they play Karibo with Multiply and they have like a whole bunch of like Karibo tokens. So your opponent controls 5 monsters, but they're not very strong monsters. And they're monsters that your opponent summoned like pretty quickly. So your card, which only requires two level 7 dragon type monsters, which in the Bright Eyes archetype you can do with the greatest of ease. All you gotta do is play Bright Eyes Dragon to the field, and then you can summon Bright Eyes High Tech Dragon to the field just straight up out of that. So that gives you two level 7 dragon type monsters like nothing. So then you can Xyz summon with them. It says this card can only be Xyz summoned by targeting one Xyz monster you control and treating its rank as if it was its level. So I guess you can't, because you have to already control an Xyz. Why is it that you have to already control an Xyz? I don't understand that. Because it's not that you need an Xyz as a material. It's just you can only summon this monster if you have an Xyz that you can target. And it's like any Xyz. It's not even like it has to be a Bright Eyes or an Odd Eyes Xyz. So I'm a little confused. Kel said it requires 4 monsters in total to make Diamond. Because you need 2 to make the first Xyz monster, and then you need to use that Xyz monster and another level 7. I would rephrase the way that you describe it in the text because it's a little confusing. So the line that explains the materials currently reads 2 level 7 dragon type monsters. So it makes it sound like all you need are two level 7 Dragon type monsters and you go into it. I understand that the next line is supposed to clarify the additional point, but it doesn't say anything. It says like this card can only be Xe summoned by targeting one Xyz monster you control and treating its rank as if it was its level. But that sounds like you're just targeting a card. It doesn't sound like you use it as a material. It's just like you can only summon this card if you already have something that you can target. It doesn't say that you use that target as a material. So I would kind of rewrite the way its effect goes. Let's see. Kel said, I know it's worded weirdly, but it was to save space. I would take the L on that space and I would try and fix that. Because I feel like people will play it and think they're playing it correctly even though they're not, just because the weird wording kind of throws you off. Nani said, did you know that 21 Savage is from the UK? Now I want to Google it because I feel like he isn't. Where is 21 Savage from? Atlanta, Georgia. That sounds right. No, I didn't know that because he it doesn't seem like he's from the UK. And then Nani said, "Yeah, he got deported." And, let's see. The New Yorker says the shameful arrest of 21 Savage. Lawmakers for release of rapper 21 Savage from ICE custody. Breaking news about 21 Savage apparently. So hold on. He's a British rapper? Is he really British? That's what his Wikipedia says now. I'm so fucking confused. Was he born in Atlanta, Georgia? On February 3rd, 2019, Abraham Joseph was arrested by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, who said he was a citizen of the United Kingdom who had entered the U.S. in July 2005 and had overstayed his visa when it expired in July 2006. Oh shit! So he is from the UK. So it's not just a meme. It's just like actually a thing. What? What? CNN. Blow me down. That's crazy. So 21 Savage actually is from the United Kingdom. I would have never guessed. So let's see. Dozer said 21 Savage from the UK is a meme, I believe. Nani said it's so weird, lol. I can't believe he's from the UK. Now I can't take him seriously. He said now I'm gonna hear Big Shaq when he raps. I still can take him seriously. Um, to me, the thing that makes me not really like 21 Savage, I think he uses beats I don't like. I think 21 Savage uses like dark and kind of scary beats, but I think he would vibe better on lighter beats. I've heard remixes of 21 Savage songs that I don't like the original versions of that I love, that are like songs that I would play just to like hang out to and like, just nod and like dance to, you know what I mean? Where if I listened to the original, I would like never fuck with it. So I feel like his flow on beats and his lyricism is not bad, but I just feel like the beats that he picks are just kind of ugh. Nani said he talks about killing, so it goes with him. And then he said dark demon beats. I mean, that's how I feel about it. I feel like he picks like these really weird, morbid beats, but then his flow, I feel like, can work with a dancey, more like party style beat. I'm not talking about like a straight like sissified beat or anything like that. Like it's not gonna be like bubblegum pop kind of beat, but just like something that's more danceable and less like depressing. Because I feel like 21 Savage goes for the more like darker doom and gloom beat. But I feel like the stuff that he raps about, even though it's like darker subject matter, doesn't need to be a doom and gloom beat. It can just be something that like is enjoyable to listen to and hear him rap over. I believe Cancer Joe did a remix of one of 21 Savage's songs that I like really vibed with. And then he's also featured with Rich Chiga on Crisis. His part in Crisis, I think, is hit or miss. Sometimes I like it and sometimes I don't. Nani said, Nick, did you see the Jotaro and Dio gameplay for Jump Force? I know there's a trailer out for it, but I have not watched it yet. There's also a new trailer out for Devora and Mortal Kombat 11. I think there's another new Mortal Kombat 11 character that I've like yet to see the trailer for. I plan to do reaction videos to all those characters, but I haven't had a chance to film those reaction videos, edit them, and post them to the channel yet. I do plan on doing a reaction video for each and every one of those things that I just mentioned. I also did a video last week talking about the comics that I read last week, reviewing all of them and giving like my score for each one. I haven't had a chance to upload that either. So I need to like upload that to the channel and like edit it, and then I need to do all those reaction videos and edit them and post them. And I need to start working toward the job offer that I got yesterday, and like filling all that out because it involves having to fill out paperwork. And I want to finish writing the superhero template book that I've been working on. And I have a character in D&D that I need to finish writing up. We're going to start a campaign with Matt. It's a small campaign that Matt is DMing that'll have me, Colin, and Gerard, and I haven't written up my character. So that's starting tomorrow night. So I need to write that up at some point. Still haven't done that. So I have a lot. I have a lot on my plate. Luckily, I don't have any homework due tomorrow. I just need to read a couple things, but I should be straight. Nani said, the thing that I didn't like is how Dio Zorarudo, it doesn't do the ear rape time skip sound. Well, I'm glad that it doesn't do the ear rape time skip sound. That sounds like it would be very annoying. I wouldn't want to do that. I mean, I wouldn't want to hear that if I was like playing as him or facing off against someone else. By the way, I noticed we got 4 viewers and 1 like. Can we get this video up to 4 viewers and 4 likes? Nani said that's what I like though. I think that would be gross. Excuse me. Some people have like ear conditions. Like I know my dad has an ear condition where if something's like too loud for him, it like physically hurts him. It's not a thing where he's like hard of hearing or necessarily that he even has sensitive ears because it's not a thing like he can hear like if you drop a pin on the floor or anything like that. He doesn't have like super powerful hearing. It's just a thing where if something's loud, it causes him physical pain, and it's things where it's like if you raise your voice a little bit more than normal, it can like hurt him. It's not like it's loud and it hurts him like it does for everyone, because for everyone if something is loud enough it's painful, but just loud things hurt him. But dad also likes to play video games, and I feel like it's good for them to not put things that you would personally describe as ear rape into video games in order to help not screw people over who just want to enjoy games and not get ear raped. And then Nani said that's what people like about Zararudo. I did it in the anime. Like, it isn't that loud. Then would it be ear rape? I don't. I feel like I've never heard someone describe a sound as ear rape and then go, it's not that loud. I feel like those don't go together. I personally haven't heard the sound that you're referring to, so I don't know. Is it just him saying Zawarudo? Because I don't think that could be that bad. But you never know. You really don't. Kel said it's not ear rape in the anime. What the fuck? Well, he's like, I don't really know what Nani's referring to. Neither do I. And then Nani said, hear it now. Swoop. Gotta pull out those headphones. Because I'm not gonna play it on the stream and then cuck people if it's ear rape. But yeah, I can play like Sawarudo sound or whatever. And then Nani says it's not, but it sounds like it. What the fuck does that mean? It's not ear rape, but it sounds like ear rape? That doesn't make any sense. He said, lol, I didn't mean it like that. Let's see. So, I'm actually a little confused. I went to like the main YouTube page so I could type in Zawarudo, and it says Nickabenson vlog February 6, 2019, part 1 is live now, and part 2 is live now. Part 1 sure as fuck isn't live right now. I'm not recording 2 streams at once, am I? That's what confused me. Hold on a second. Before I look up Zararudo, I need to figure out how many streams are currently being filmed because I'm confused. Also, I noticed we got 3 viewers and 2 likes. Can we get it to 3 viewers and 3 likes? Kel said ear rape is confirmed to be not ear rape. Interesting. Let's see, video manager. I'm waiting for the video manager to load. Go, 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 Bill Nye, the science guy. And then Nani said, shut the fuck up, I'm high. So let's see. Huh, I guess live things don't appear in the video manager. But that implies that the other stream is live. Am I filming multiple streams at the same time and I don't know it? That'd be really weird. Whatever. It is what it is now. So, Kel said it'd be like that. And then Nani says, oh, Naruto. Okay. Sound effect. It's 5 seconds long. Oh, what? It plays like that hard bass noise. What the fuck? I see what you mean. The like, it's like ear rape, but it's not ear rape. Yeah, I wouldn't want that in the game. I'm glad they didn't put that. I feel like that's definitely something that's not necessary. Let's see. That one guy Kel said, "Yeah, you're streaming 2 streams at the same time." What? What? So does that mean that people are gonna watch part one, and part one's gonna have everything that's in part two in it, and then people are gonna watch part two, but it's just gonna be half of part one? That's very confusing. Dozer says, speaking of Bill Nye, video suggestion. Watch an episode of Bill Nye and act surprised at all the science things he says. Is that something that people do? Excuse me. Watch Bill Nye and just pretend to be surprised? Then Nani said, yeah, Nick, you see what I mean? He said, I like that. He said, I like that, the re. He said, F you, Nick, for downing me. Then Kel said, did you see Bright Eyes Riot Dragon? I gotta read Bright Eyes Riot Dragon. Please fix the text on Bright Odd Eyes Diamond Dragon. Please. So, Bright Odd Eyes Riot Dragon requires an Odd Eyes monster plus 1 Bright Eyes monster. What? 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 Why do the materials not mention the level that the monsters need to be? Because I'm used to it being like 1 level something monster plus 1 level something monster. These materials are like what you put on a Link monster, not what you put on like a Xyz. Oh, it's a fusion. You're good. You're good. I thought I was reading a Link monster. I mean, not a Link monster. I thought I was reading another Xyz. That makes sense. So it's a fusion monster that can be summoned with 1 Odd Eyes and 1 Bright Eyes monster. That's a really easy condition for that fusion. Mm. So it's always treated as a Bright Eyes and an Odd Eyes monster. When it's fusion summoned, you can add 1 Bright Eyes and or Odd Eyes monster from the graveyard, banish zone, or face up in the extra deck, equal to the number of cards in your pendulum zone. So you can get up to 2. And wait, what are you doing with it? You can add. So you are adding them from those areas to your hand, and you can get up to 2 from it. Then once per turn, you can shuffle 1 card from face up in the extra deck or the banish zone into the deck, then target 1 card your opponent controls, negate its effects, and then banish it. Interesting. Um, that one doesn't seem bad. It has a really easy summoning condition. 2500 attack. What? That seems a little good for what it is. Just with the attack and defense points, I feel like the effect is pretty okay. I don't think it's too bad. Um, but the attack and defense points are kind of thick. I guess 2500 isn't too bad. It's because it doesn't specify a level. Maybe because you need a fusion spell card for it, it's not bad. I think you're probably fine. Yeah, that card is probably fine. Bright Odd Eyes Riot Dragon. Bright Odd Eyes Diamond Dragon, I guess, is okay. I really need to see it with the properly written summoning conditions, and I think I'll understand it a bit more. Nani said they're using Jotaro's time skip sound effect for DO2. Interesting. Then Nani said, Nick, do you guys think it's worth it to buy Jump Force? So I'm personally going to buy Jump Force, though I think someone yesterday jumped into the live chat. It was either yesterday or earlier today, who said that Jump Force was not worth it because some YouTuber said so. I think it was during today's Injustice 2 stream. Someone jumped on and said, hey, somebody said that it's not worth it to buy Jump Force or whatever. But I haven't heard whatever the argument is for not buying Jump Force. I think the biggest thing that would make me not buy Jump Force would be if for whatever reason you couldn't stream it. You could stream the beta. They better let me stream the game. And I want to stream the story mode too. Not all games let you stream the story mode, but I definitely would want to stream the story mode. I think people want to see that. I want to stream that. I want to see my custom character in cutscenes and I want to stream it. Give me streamable Jump Force, please. Kel said, I'm hecka gonna buy Jump Force. The two games that I am like most excited for this year, when it comes to like fighting games, Mortal Kombat 11, Jump Force. Probably in that order. While I am hyped to make an entirely custom character in Jump Force, where you can customize how they look and their moves, Mortal Kombat 11's doing the same thing, but I can't fully customize the appearance of all the different Mortal Kombat characters. You know, my Raiden's still gonna look like Raiden. You know, my Sub Zero is still gonna look like Sub Zero. I can just add little changes here and there to like their weapons and their colors and their outfits and stuff like that. Um, but I do think I'm more excited for Mortal Kombat 11 than I am for Jump Force, if I'm being honest. Nani said 40 characters are for me, and I feel like it's not going to have any content. And then he meant to say a lot of content, but he's getting it for Jotaro and Dio. I wouldn't say that it wouldn't have any content. Um, I'm curious to see how good the story's gonna be, or if the story will be good. Serena said, "Yeehaw!" Yo, Serena, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. I got 3 questions for you, Serena. How was your day today? Do you have any discussion topics that you'd like to discuss? And do you have any questions for your boy? Also, we got 4 viewers and 3 likes. Can we get this video to 4 viewers and 4 likes? Hey, Kel said, can you read some more of the fanfic? Yeah, I can read some more of the fanfic. I'm gonna try and figure out where I left off on the fanfic that you wrote last time. Then Nani said Bandai always doing that stupid time story crap. Isn't the only other time story thing Xenoverse and Xenoverse 2? That's the only thing I can think of where the anime characters turn evil. Yeah, isn't that just Xenoverse and Xenoverse 2? Is there like another example where they do that? Because you said it like it was like a huge trope, and it's like just Xenoverse as far as I can tell, and now this. Is Fighter Z time travel based? I've never played the story. I did a little bit of the story with Dozer, but it's been a long time. And Nani said Jump Force 2. Then Kel said, we left off after Kino activated Future Clone Machine. Okay, cool. Thank you for filling me in. Dozer said, hi, Sereni. And then Serena said, hi, Davey. She went in hard. So, right after the clone machine. So, what I'm about to read is a fanfic that Kels wrote. It stars me and an OC that Kels came up with, and we're competing against each other in a match of Yu-Gi-Oh! Gi-Oh! In Kels' fanfiction series called Yu-Gi-Oh! Reborn. It's currently posted up on the Amino. I will read any fan fictions that you write of your boy Jet Black and any fictional or real content, as long as it's context, is what I meant to say. As long as the fan fiction is 250 words or less. So if you guys want me to do a dramatic reading of a fan fiction that stars me in it, post that fan fiction to the Amino and I will do a dramatic reading of it during a stream. Also, I do also look at fan art, so if you guys have any fan art pictures of your boy Jet Black, feel free to post them to the Amino. If I get 10 fan art pictures, I'll make a very short slideshow. It'll probably only be a few seconds long, but I'll post it onto the YouTube channel showing off the fan art, and I'll do it in sets of 10. And then once I get like 20 or so, I'll make like a big video with all 20, and so on and so forth, showing off you guys' fan art. So yeah, feel free to post those fanfics and fan arts to the Amino. To the Amino. Nani said yes, it is. Then Kel said Fighter Z doesn't have time stuff. Then Serena said my day was okay. I went to work. Question: why don't you get a new pillow? So right now I have two really flat pillows. I have one red pillow that's really flat and one blue pillow that's really flat. I like sleeping on the floor, and I only need the pillows to give me a little bit of elevation. I don't need a lot. I know Maddie really wants me to buy like fluffier pillows. Maddie will come over and lay down, and she'll be like, "These pillows are shit," and we've yet to go out to like buy pillows. Mom has a friend who makes like custom pillows or whatever, and they seem like they're nice. So maybe if I was to get a new pillow, I would try to hit up the pillows that mom's friend makes if I was to like try and get pillows. Nani said Nick should get a body pillow, like a Ben 10. Then Serena said, voting Ben 10 body pillow. So, for one, I probably wouldn't want a body pillow. I normally like to have a pillow under my back and a pillow under my head. I think a body pillow is more of something that you like cuddle with or whatever. I don't think I've ever had a body pillow, so I don't really know how you're supposed to use them. But I think that's what they're for. It's like a cuddling thing. But I sleep on my back. I sleep like a fucking vampire. Like I look up at the ceilings and I close my eyes and I go to sleep. So I feel like a body pillow wouldn't be practical for me. It would be too like round and I'd have to lay like back on the thing. I don't think I would vibe with that. Um, my dad has like shown me footage of me sleeping. He like filmed me sleeping once and like showed it to me. And I wrap myself in a blanket and I'm like this in a blanket and I'm asleep. Whenever I wake up, I'm not cocooned, but I guess during the wake up stages, I'm like getting out of it. I don't know. But that's as far as I'm concerned how I sleep. I end up doing some weird cocoon shit, so I don't think a body pillow would really work for me. I think that'd be odd. Also, if I was to get a body pillow of a Ben 10 character, I wouldn't get one of Ben, that's for sure. If I could pick any Ben 10 character to have on a body pillow, this is a weird question, by the way. Maybe adult Gwen. That wouldn't be too bad, I guess. I'm not a body pillow kind of guy. If I was, I'd own a body pillow. But if I had to pick any Ben 10 character, probably adult Gwen. That would make the most sense. Let's see. Nani said yes. Then Serena said racism. What was the racist thing? Then Nani said cuddle with Benton. Nah, ain't me. Then Kel said I'm my own body pillow. Then Serena said when David and I wake up, Nick awakens immediately, stands up as fast as possible, and just start talking as if he doesn't wake up drowsy like at all. And then Nani said, "Lol, really? What the fuck?" Well, that's because you already slept. So why do you got to be tired? I have woken up drowsy before. I think the thing that wakes me up and gets me like drowsy is Colin's good at it. Colin's good as fuck at it. Colin will be like, we're gonna hang out at like 10 a.m., right? And I'll set a bunch of fucking alarms to get up at 10 a.m. And then Colin will call me like before 10 a.m. and be like, "Hey, are you ready?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not ready because it's not it's not 10 a.m." Like he'll get me fucked up on that. So what I've started doing is if Colin like tells me a time to be ready, I set alarms as if I need to wake up like an hour before then, so that Colin can't fuck me over. But I've answered the phone for Colin before and been hella tired. Um, if you catch me right after I went to sleep, I'll be tired because that's just true for most people. Maddie's done that. I've gone to sleep at like 1 or 2 a.m. before and then get a fucking phone call from Maddie and it's like right as you went to sleep and you were like, no, no, what are you doing? I don't understand. But if it's been like a few hours or so and I've been like lying down to sleep, then why would I be tired? I already slept. I'm good now. That's it. I think the last time I felt tired, like really like fuck, I gotta go to bed, was I was hanging out with Winslow, and we hung out at his dorm for a bit, and then he was gonna go to the lab, and I was like still down to hang out, but I think I wanted to lie down and talk, and his lab doesn't have like a couch. And I was like, I personally feel like it would be better for me to go to bed than to go to the lab, because I think if I went to the lab, I would just want to lie down and I wouldn't be able to, and it just wouldn't be a good time. I think that's the last time I was like, fuck, I feel pretty tired right now. Serena said, I don't know either, but it seems to be true for a lot of people, including myself. So the idea of waking up and just not being drowsy? I think Dozer does a good job of waking up and not seeming drowsy. Because a lot of times when I wake up, I'll like wave at Dozer, and Dozer will be like he seems ready. Now I have seen Serena wake up before and not seem entirely ready for like a hangout thing. Like I've heard you like wake up and kind of groan before, like not do a full like hi. Nani said, "What if Nick wakes up and twerks?" I don't think I'd ever wake up and twerk. I don't know what would motivate me to do so. I think the craziest thing I've ever done after waking up is my exercise routine. If I'm like in a hurry, right? Like I wake up and I realize, oh shit, I needed to have like already done a whole bunch of stuff, but I haven't. Then I'm more likely to wake up and then immediately try to do all those things. So Serena can vouch that if I have like a loose enough timetable, I will procrastinate on exercising after I first wake up. Like, I'll get up off the floor and Serena will be like, we want to go eat somewhere, exercise. And I'll like talk and I'll walk around for a bit and I'll like get my phone out so I can do like the calculator to count my push ups and shit. And I'll pull up my laptop so I can keep count of it. And then I'll pull up a YouTube video to watch while I exercise. And then I just sit there and watch that fucking YouTube video. Like, if I feel like I'm not under a real time constraint, I'll be like, it can wait. But I've been hit up by my brother before, and he's like, I'm 10 minutes away. I'm about to pick you up to take you to mom's. And I've like woken up and just straight from waking up, it's like, oh, I guess I gotta exercise. I gotta exercise like right the fuck now because I have no time to do anything else. And I'll like burn through it. I'll go through the exercise routine real quick. So it depends on like what situation. But I think that's the most active thing I've done waking up. Like you wake up, you roll over because I just sleep on the floor, and you just fucking start exercising. Of course, you move your pillows and blankets out of the way. You're not gonna just exercise over your fucking bedding. But yeah, that's the most active thing I've ever done from just straight up waking up. Let's see. Where am I at? Serena said, I do personally take a long time to become drowsy and to stop being drowsy. Then Nani said, your back will break because you're bony. Then Nani said, maybe because everyone's breath smells like poop. I didn't understand that last line. Then Kel said, wakes up, gets out of bed, twerks for 5 minutes with a blanket expression on his face, uh, then continues his day as normal. Then Serena said, you were like, oh, I'm reading this Wikipedia entry. Like, we are hungry, please, Nick. I don't know. When I first wake up, if I have like a good amount of time, I don't like to immediately get into like the exercise thing. Um, but if it's like I don't really have a choice thing, I'll get into the exercise routine hella hard. I feel like whenever we hang out and we know we're gonna do like a morning breakfast, you guys need to just make sure I exercise before we go to bed. Because I'm much more likely to exercise before we go to sleep than I am to exercise immediately when we wake up. Nani said Nick eats once a day. Yep, I eat once a day. I sleep on the floor. I wave and smile at strangers. I'm trying to think of like what are the weird things that I do. I used to ask girls out all the time. Back when I was like in the dating scene before I married Maddie. It would be a thing where it's like if I saw a girl and she looked like somewhat attractive, I'd be like, I'll give her a shot. And I would just go up and be like, hey, would you like to go out sometime? I don't do that anymore. I'm back in the dating scene, but now I'm really picky. If a girl doesn't immediately show that she is interested in comic books and anime, it doesn't really care how attractive she is. I'm not probably going to ask her out. Like, she needs to be like a part of the culture, show off the fact that she's like a nerd, and if not, I'm probably not gonna fuck with her. So Danica is the only girl that I'm currently pursuing. She has definitely proven that she's like with the culture, actively reads comics, can actually talk about comics and superheroes and superpowers and stuff like that. Me and Danica have a date Saturday. A's. I'm hyped for that. Kels said, I must activate sleep. See you later. Whoop, catch you later, Kels. Thank you for tuning in. It was good to have you. Blah, 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 blah. Hope you have a wonderful night's sleep. I'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget to vote in tomorrow's fan poll. Nani said, that's so weird. Mm. Serena said, when we all were at a restaurant for me and Kaylee's birthday, and Nick asked out our waitress in front of Kaylee's family and everyone. Yeah, she was cute. That was back before I was like more picky. Let's see. Nani said so people be like, "What the fuck? Who is this guy?" And then she said, "Serene, wow, no." And then Serena said she was. Mm-hmm. She was definitely the cute, as Starfire would say. Boom, 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 boom. So Kel's dipped. So sadly, I didn't get a chance to continue reading his fan fiction. Speaking of fan fictions, about to plug that amino again. Make sure you jump in that description box below. We got a link to the amino, So if you want to do any fan arts of your boy Jet Black or fan fiction starring your boy Jet Black, 250 words or less, feel free to post those to the amino, and I'll do dramatic readings of your fan fiction. And if I get 10 fan art images, I'll make a slideshow looking at all the different fan art images and everything. I think it'll be cool. Let's see. Serena said, honestly, David and I would be in public, and Nick would go ask out all of these married women. I didn't know they were married ahead of time, Serena. I'm not looking for rings, but I definitely respect it when they're like, I'm married. I'm like, oh, cool. Have a great day. And that's about it. Nani's like, Nick had the confidence. I respect you. Then, oh, thank you, Nani. I appreciate it. Then Serena said, he can't tell ages either. He dead ass asked out this 40-year-old Mexican woman at a restaurant. I don't think she was 40. David swears that she was like an older woman. She didn't look that old at all, and she seemed down. I don't. Nani said, "Whoa, Nick, what kind of married woman? Like 50?" So the married women thing were not older women. Those were women that were about my age, maybe a little older, like by a few years, but they were relatively young. We were at like a Kroger, and I was like asking out girls, and they looked like they were like around my age, and they were all like married, 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 and that's understandable. I was married at my age. That's a thing that we do. And then Serena said she was. Then Nani said Nick getting milfs. Did she have makeup on? I don't think she had makeup on. I'm not sure. If she did, she didn't like clown it up. I think the main times I notice makeup on people is when I've seen you without makeup. So when you have makeup, you look different. When you have so much makeup that it's like a lot, where I can be like, oh, you put a lot of something on, and you can tell because that's just not how people look. And I think those are the only two times that I notice makeup. 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna prefer a girl that's not wearing makeup over a girl that's wearing makeup and I notice. Because if she's wearing makeup and I notice, then I'm like, that's not what you actually look like. Like, that'll be my first thought is like, you don't look like that. Where if it's a girl who's wearing makeup and I don't notice, that just means you did a good ass job. I looked at your face and I couldn't tell that that wasn't your face. You got me. But I feel like whenever I meet a girl who I can't tell that's not how they look, it's much more dramatic when you see them without makeup because you're like, oh, oh, because it's not a thing where it's like, oh, you're ugly. It's not anything like that. It's just like, oh, that's what I always assumed. That's just how you normally looked. Let's see. Then Nani said girls look completely different with makeup on. Then Serena said Nick had me walking around with him in Kroger for like an hour for him to ask out prospects when David was in a job interview. So normally when I'm like in the dating scene and there are multiple girls that I'm interested in asking out, I normally refer to them as prospects because they're like prospective dates. That's the term that I use, and Serena finds that term hilarious. Then Nani said, like when they take it off, they look ugly. I don't think women look ugly necessarily when they take off makeup, but they look different if you didn't know that they were wearing makeup. Because that's what gets me. Because some makeup that people can wear can be something that like does a subtle change to their face. Because a lot of times it could be like it's makeup that like hides blemishes, or it's makeup that kind of like changes the way that you look at their face. Where you're like, I could see that being just a person's face. And then they remove it, and then you're like, oh, you just look different now. And then Nani said prospects, and then he said, laugh my ass off, WYM. What you mean? Oh, what you mean? There we go. Then Serena said that one lady went, ah, oh my, when he asked her out. And when she saw he was serious, she changed real quick and went like, oh no. And then Serena said he calls them prospects. Then Nani said, I like dating girls that are cute and have no makeup on. And he said, laugh my ass off. What the fuck, Nick? Prospects, oh my god, that's funny as fuck. He said, I'm going to start calling them that. Serena, so have any girls accepted? So I have gotten numbers from girls before by just like spontaneously asking them out, and even gone on dates with girls before from spontaneously asking them out. I personally think it's better to ask out girls that you already know you have common interests with, because I don't like dates where you hang out with someone that you don't have common interests with, and it's always the same thing when I go on a date with a girl and she's not into comic books and superheroes. She says, I'm open to learning more about them. And they'll ask you questions about it, but you can tell they're not really into it and they can't fuel your conversation. So you'll talk about superheroes and shit, and then they'll be like, yeah, yeah, and then they'll ask you something. You'll talk more about superheroes, but you know that it's like information that they will in no way retain. So if you talk about it later, it's not like they're gonna be like, oh yeah, I remember that, and it's not something they have interest in. So it just kind of goes in one ear and out the other. I remember I went on a few dates with one girl. Oh, sorry, we had an internet connection issue. I went on a date with one girl, like multiple dates with one girl, whose name I think was the same as Maddie's but spelled differently. And I would go on dates with her where she seemed legitimately interested in the stuff I was talking about. I'd talk about Yu Gi Oh! I'd talk about like Japanese Power Rangers, they call it Super Sentai, and like Kamen Rider. And it seemed like she'd take in like the info, but she never really did anything with it. That was a weird case because you're going on dates and you're talking about nerdy stuff and they seem totally into it, but then it wasn't a thing where it's like, oh well, now they're gonna like watch Kamen Rider, or oh now they're gonna like play Yu-Gi-Oh. They're just taking it all in and they're just not doing shit with it. And you're like, I don't really know what this is doing. Let's see. Serena said when he asked out random girls in public, sometimes. Then Nani said, "Can I call them prospects or prosecutors?" Why would you call them prosecutors? Serena said, "Nick, what are you gonna do for Valentine's Day?" Fuck me. When's Valentine's Day? The 14th? What day is it? It's 1 week from today. Hey Serena, what am I gonna do for Valentine's Day? Not shit. Dude. So, my thought process on Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is 1 week from today, if it is the 14th. That is the 24th. I should just Google when Valentine's Day is. That way I can give you a better answer. The 14th. Okay, cool. So, Danica does not go to UAH on Tuesdays and Thursdays, meaning Danica won't physically be here excuse me, on Valentine's Day, I would have to A, try and surprise Danica with something Monday of next week. Well, fuck. I guess I have three options. I could A, try and do an impromptu Valentine's Day celebration Saturday, like surprise Danica with a hella early Valentine's Day thing. So that's the A option. B, hit her up Monday with that Valentine's Day, bah, 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 and get her something on Monday. C, hit her up with that Wednesday, one day early Valentine's Day, bah, 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 bah. Hit her up with that. Um, or D, maybe we could have another date next Saturday, and it would be a couple days after Valentine's Day. Maybe going on a Valentine's date. That would be pretty nice. Not gonna lie. I think I would prefer to do that. Do like an event rather than like necessarily exchange gifts. I know stuff that Danica likes. I could see myself making like an image for her, similar to how I made those pictures for Maddie, like that art that I made, the digital art stuff. I think Danica would appreciate if I made something like that for her. So maybe I could see myself doing that. But I'd rather do a Valentine's date where it's like whatever she wants to do, we just like do that for a day. I think that'd be cool. I also don't know how Danica feels about Valentine's Day, like what her vibe is. So I'd have to feel it out. I probably can ask her Saturday, what are her thoughts on Valentine's Day? Does she like doing anything special? I've dated girls in the past who don't necessarily fuck with Valentine's Day. Like it's not like a big thing for them. Um, because everyone has their thing. Some people really fuck with birthdays. They're like, if you miss my birthday, fuck you. You know what I mean? Some people really fuck with Valentine's Day. They're like, Valentine's Day is the day where you like really show that you love someone. And other people really fuck with Christmas. Christmas is like that family time of year. If you're really trying to court me, then you're trying to be a part of my family. You better show out on Christmas. You know what I mean? So everyone has their holiday. So I really need to figure out what is Danica's opinion on Valentine's Day, and based on her answer Saturday, when we're like on the date, like talking about it, will determine my future action. If Danica turns to me and goes, I fucking love Valentine's Day. For one, I feel like that'd be out of character. I don't think she'd say that. And two, I'd be like, oh well, I gotta do some Valentine's Day shit. I gotta. Yeah, that is now the plan. I must move forward on that. So let me scroll up. So Nani said, that's cool. At least now I know he isn't gay. Nani, what the fuck? So why would you think that I was gay? Then Serena said he dated like three Gabbies. I dated two Gabbies. Please don't add to the confusion. People already are confused with the number of Gabbies. I've only dated two Gabbies. German Gabby and I were just friends. We still are friends, just me and German Gabby haven't had a chance to hang out this semester for real. But dated two Gabbies. German Gabby and I are just friends. Didn't date three Gabbies. Nani said three. I thought two. Then Serena said it is the 14th. Then Nani said I still need to know what I'm going to do for my girlfriend for Valentine's Day. Well, what is she like? Serena said David did option C for me last year. He surprised me one day. Oh, he surprised you one day early with a Valentine's Day. Hey, those are with the smoothness. The real question, Serena, is what are you and Dozer gonna do for Valentine's Day? Ooh, because I mean, me and Danica are going on dates, but me and Danica aren't an item. We're not boyfriend and girlfriend. We just like talk, and we go on dates, and we have fun. But we're not like an item. I wonder how Danica would feel about like me doing Valentine's Day stuff. Like if she'd be like, "Oh, like this is really nice," or if she'd be like, this seems rather forward." I don't know. Like I said, I gotta ask her about it, how she feels on it. Nani said, "Should I give her my angel diamond necklace? Why do you have diamond necklaces? Just like around. Like, did you already buy it for her, or do you just have one?" Then Nani said, "Nick moves on so fast. Lol, he was married not that long ago. Me and Maddie are going in different life directions. Maddie has like dropped out of college. She's planning on moving to Costa Rica in like June. Maddie says that she's like really excited. This has been one of her dreams for a while, so she's like pursuing her dreams. And if she's moving to Costa Rica, and I'm probably gonna end up moving to like Maryland, like nearby the Washington D.C. area, our life paths are just going in different directions. It just makes sense for us to go our separate ways and just keep moving forward. Can't let the past hold you back. Then Serena said that marriage was such fake news. I mean, it was real, but may as well not have been. Well, hold on, Serena. There's an alternate universe where Maddie was like, fuck it, I can learn and get an education in the United States, and I don't have to go all the way to Costa Rica in order to learn how to be an interpreter. And then like I could really see me and Maddie working out. Me and Maddie have talked about it before, where it's like under different circumstances, if we weren't after different like life goals, we could see ourselves like still being like happily married. But because we're just going on different paths, it's just like nah. But if we were like going on the same path, then I could see me and Maddie like being a thing, like again. Let's see. Then Nani said, I had gay vibes from you. Since when? I don't understand where you're coming from on that. Then Nani said, it's my necklace. So you already just have a diamond angel necklace? Like for you? I don't know. I'm imagining something that you would like give to a girl, which is why it messes with me when you're like, I just have this necklace around me. Maybe it's just a nice necklace. I'm not judging. I'm just surprised. Then Nani said she dropped out. Wow, so dumb. I wouldn't say it's dumb. So Maddie has tested into a school that's in Costa Rica that will focus on getting her a certification for being an interpreter. So it's one of those schools where instead of taking like general studies classes and then taking classes in your major, you just go in and you only do stuff for your major. So she would go to the school where the only thing she'd be learning is how to be an interpreter. And while going to that school, she'd be living in Costa Rica and getting more into the culture. And since she'll be living in like a Spanish country and learning Spanish, she feels like she'll get a lot more out of her education. And then once she becomes a certified interpreter, I feel like she's probably going to just keep living in Costa Rica. That or she's going to move back to the States. But I feel like that's going to be interesting if she decides to do that. Um, but I don't think it's dumb necessarily. I think the only thing that's weird is that she needs money to do that, and she's planning on doing it by June. So I feel like she's gonna end up owing her parents a lot of money. I know she's raising money now, but I'm not sure how much money she needs to move to Costa Rica and live there comfortably for years, you know, getting her education. Um, I think she needs to move with a solid amount of money in order to make sure that she can live comfortably in a foreign country. So I just think it's kind of odd. Like if that was your plan, I would have like gone about that a little bit differently. Not gonna lie. Let's see. Serena said, I mean, I dropped out of high school, lol, but I'm in college. Then Nani said, I mean, she was in college but decides to quit. Um, I think it's kind of weird only because Maddie was in college for years. Like she started when I started, so she's been going to UAH since like 2015, and now it's like 2019, and she's like, nope. But Maddie also was making a lot of weird choices with her major, so it was hard to tell when she was going to graduate, but we weren't going to graduate on at the same time. So I don't know. It became one of those like toss up things, but she more or less is dropping the college education to go get the interpreter certification in Costa Rica. I mean, it's whatever makes her happy. She was messaging with me today, and she's like super exhilarated. She's hype. She's like, "Yo, this is gonna be great. I'm really excited to go to Costa Rica." Her parents are behind her on it. They're like, "Yeah, you can do Costa Rica if you want to." Like, they're all for it. So if she's cool with it, and her parents are cool with it, and they're like willing to help support her in her dreams and to follow her dreams and like achieve her goals, then like more power to him. I'm glad that she's feeling happy and that that's what she enjoys. Like if that's what she wants to do, then she can do it. That's fine with me. Dozer said, I also have dropped out of college, Nani. It's not for everyone. And that's true. You know, college is not something that you have to do. It's just something that people do in order to try and like get into a particular field, but it's definitely not necessary. You can, with the greatest of ease, get a position that you want and a career that you want if you take the right steps. And college doesn't have to be one of those steps. Can it help? Yes, it definitely can help. But is it required? No, depending on the job. Definitely depending on the job. Some jobs, they don't even consider you if you don't have like a college education. So it really depends, I think, heavily on like your experience that you have, like working in similar jobs, um, and your character and your work ethic. I feel like a lot of people have gotten jobs that they weren't necessarily qualified for initially, but they worked hard and they were able to like earn their place in a position. My friend Darren is a lot older than me. He's like a grown man, like maybe like a decade or two older than me. Darren got a music degree at UAH, and he's now working in information systems, like a computer based job, and he doesn't have like a boss for real. Like he is his boss, and he makes like good money. Your boy buys iPads for no reason, just so he can have more iPads. um, so in some cases, you get a college degree in something that you don't even go into. You know what I mean? So college isn't required for you to get the career that you want. And even if you go to college and get a degree, you may end up doing something completely different from what you went to college for. You know what I mean? So college is there, but it's not something you have to do. Would I recommend going to college? Probably. Like if I had a kid, I wouldn't force them to go to college, but I would say you'd be surprised at what opportunities you might run into in college. Because I remember having to like pay like student loans and like shit like that, like in early college. And then I got a scholarship that more or less was like, hey, bye, you don't have student loan debt anymore. You can pay it all off. And it's like, oh shit, that's fucking great. So the scholarship ended up paying for my full college, being more or less a full ride, um, paying even the past stuff I had already done. So I would tell like my kid, college may seem a little daunting. It may be like, wow, you're spending a lot of money and spending all these years not doing what you want to do, but you will learn valuable skills that you will be able to put on your resume, as long as you go to a good university. And not only will you get valuable skills, but the opportunity to potentially get a job from college can be higher than you expect depending on what programs you get like involved with. I feel like the biggest highlight of my college career is the fact that I did end up in a scholarship program because it's opened the door to me being able to go to the job fair that I went to where I ended up getting the job offers that I now have that I can now use in order to push myself forward in my career. So I would definitely say that like college can be helpful, but it's not necessary. I feel like if all the money I dumped into college, I used in order to like increase my professional development, just saying like I know what I want to do in life and then dedicating myself to like learning additional skills and buying resources and textbooks and doing independent study, I probably could also get a job, but would it be as good as the opportunity that I got? I'm not quite sure on that, you know. But that's just me on that one. Serena said you dropped out of college twice, double drops in reference to Dozer. Then Nani said, yeah, like I buy stuff like that for me, like watches and stuff, but I have more necklaces, so I might just give her that one. Interesting. I've never been like a jewelry guy. I think the most recent bit of jewelry I've ever bought was my wife's wedding ring. I was about to point at my own, but I think we bought each other's rings. So my wife's wedding ring is the last jewelry I bought, and the last jewelry that was bought for me is my ring from my wife. Then before that, mom bought me a watch. I think she bought me like a Spider Man watch recently. It was like an amazing Spider Man watch. I don't wear watches though. So, yeah, I used to wear these fucking bands around my wrist all the time. I had a Captain America band and a Hulk band because I used to have Marvel chewable vitamins and they came with little wristbands. I used to never take those bitches off, like ever. And it would leave like bands on my wrist and shit. And dad eventually was like, fuck that. I think I had a birthday and he was like, you're too old for that shit. And he like made me take them off. Then I had Shakalaka bands. That's a trampoline park that's like a local trampoline park brand or whatever. They had bands, and my friend Hunter, who used to be my roommate, he used to wear his bands all the time. And then after Hunter died, I like didn't take my Shakalaka bands off for like a long time. I think I took those off when I went to a career fair. It was something like you need to look professional and you don't want to have like colorful bands on that would make you look unprofessional. And then since then, I just haven't worn wristbands. But those fucking Marvel wristbands I was talking about, I wore those literally for years without taking them off. That was like a legit thing. Um, let's see. Nani said, "Yeah, I understand. I should have said it like that." And then he said, "Yeah, I wouldn't drop out if I was there since like 2015. Yeah, since Maddie had been there for like so many years. And Maddie was there on scholarship. I think that's like the big thing for me. I think when like your school is already being paid for and then you choose to drop out, you don't necessarily just get scholarships back. You know what I mean? So if Maddie was to come back to UAH, she wouldn't necessarily come back on scholarship. And I feel like it's a really interesting choice. I'm glad that she's doing what makes her happy, but it's an interesting choice to say, college being paid for, nah, and then just like drop it. That's not as bad as this one guy, Ryan. Ryan used to be Colin's roommate, not the Ryan that I hang out with, Darkness Approaches, a different Ryan. He was coming to UAH on scholarship, but then he didn't go to any of his classes, and he would message his teachers saying, "Oh, I'm sick. Oh, I'm sick. Oh, I can't come to class." No, 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 no. And he convinced all his teachers to let him take the final, and if he passed his final, he could like pass the classes, even though he didn't do any of the schoolwork. And then he didn't go to the final, and he flunked out, and he left. I was like, the fuck. What? Because when I learned that he had somehow gamed the system and made it where he could not go to class and take one test and potentially pass, I was like, that's skill right there. He fucking killed that. Let's see. Dookie Dropper then said he just got home, and then he ends that sentence by saying he'll be home soon. So I don't understand what he said. Then Serena said, "For my future career, I have to have a doctorate." True. So it's a thing where college is something that's like mandatory for what you're going into. Nani said, "Lol." He got home from the shower. The fuck. Then he said, "Nick, so what kind of car are you gonna get?" I really like the Dodge Dart 2. I have bragged on the Dodge Dart 2 for years, but now I imagine it's an outdated car. I really like the Dodge Dart 2 because it has a somewhat sporty look, but it still kind of looks like a sedan. It has good miles per gallon, and when it initially came out, it was like, and it has Wi-Fi in your car. I'm like, Wi-Fi in my car? The fuck? What a is random unnecessary thing. But it's mainly for the aesthetic, because I think it looks nice. It's sporty, but still looks like a sedan. And the gas mileage. I think at the time it was like a 40 mile per gallon car. And at the time that came out, I was looking at other car commercials and I was like, these other cars aren't doing 40 miles per gallon. This Dodge Dart seems very economical. Fucking. So that was my thought process. I'm sure now there are like way better car options for miles per gallon because it's been years since the Dodge Dart came out. Also, I think there are some basic car features that I'm just seeing people getting new cars having where I'm like, well, now I kind of want to make sure that I have those. Like a backup camera is really nice. Android Auto, I have that app on my phone and I don't even have a fucking car. Android Auto seems really useful. It lets you use your Google Assistant through your car. I think that's really useful. It lets you do GPS stuff too. I don't know. I do think I want a backup camera and Android Auto in my car. I feel like those are like necessities. Good miles per gallon, and please a car with a minimum of four fucking seats and air conditioning. I don't like cars that are only like two seaters, and I don't like cars that don't have air conditioning. And don't put my stick shift on my fucking wheel. I hate that. Please put it on like in the middle or whatever, and make it manual. Don't give me that fucking stick. I don't drive stick. I don't want stick. Maybe if it has that as an option, sure, but nah. A speed shift would be cool. I don't think I'd ever use it. I would just tell people I got a speed shift in my car. If I want, I can drive my car like a sports car, but I never will because I'm a safe driver. And then Wi-Fi for no reason would be interesting, but it's not a requirement. I just want good gas mileage, four seats, a stick that's in a proper place, and is automatic instead of being a stick because I don't fuck with stick. And I think I'm good. And air conditioner, I'm not sure if I said that. I rode in a car. There was a period of time where I was going on dates with this girl Bailey, and she had a nice car. It was orange. I love orange cars. The shit didn't have air conditioning. What? What? No, I can't vibe with that in any level at all. Let's see. Nani said, "Would you ever get tattoos?" No, I would never get tattoos. I'm not a tattoo guy. I would never do a tattoo. I never do a piercing. I don't want earrings. I don't want nose rings. I don't want dermals. I don't want tattoos. I don't fuck with any of that. You may be like, why don't you fuck with that? Because it's unnecessary and it's expensive to like get and it's expensive to get rid of. Do you know you have to touch up tattoos to keep them looking nice? Fuck that. I don't think I'd ever get fat. I only eat once a day and I do like a regular exercise routine that at any time I can just do more of if I feel like my metabolism is trying to catch up with me. But if you get fat and you have tattoos, your tattoos don't look the same anymore. If you have any dramatic body change, your tattoos just suddenly look different. Um, you could ask for a tattoo that looks dope as fuck. You can be like, "Can I get this as a tattoo?" And then they draw it, and it looks like fucking Barney, but he's orange. You know, like there's too much that goes into that. That's just unfuckwithable. Maddie had like a surgery thing. Well, hold on. Maddie went in to get surgery for her dermals. She needs to get her dermals removed, and she couldn't get them removed at the piercing place. So now they're gonna have her go to a plastic surgeon to get them cut out. That's some unnecessary additional expenses. Excuse me. That you can just dodge by just not having piercings. So I don't fuck with tattoos or piercings. Excuse me. Let's see. Serena said, I broke like three shakalaka wristbands. It happens. Then Nani said, Hunter died. Yeah, my friend Hunter, we were roommates back in the day. He got struck by lightning. And when I heard that initially, I didn't believe it. I thought I was like getting punked. But no, Hunter went to UAH for weather science. He was chilling in his house. He was on Skype and he was messaging with his friends. And he heard thunder. And he was like, I've checked the weather reports. There shouldn't be any thunderstorms in the area. He walks outside. And before he walks outside, he messages to everyone online, like, I'll be right back. I'm going to check the weather. He goes outside, and based on where he was found, you could tell that he had like gone outside, looked up, and then turned around to go back inside. And as he was going back inside, is when he got shot by lightning. The Hunter situation was a huge ordeal. It was a very emotional time, um, and we still keep in contact with Hunter's mom. We try to do get-togethers where we like talk about and remember Hunter. We even did a zip lining trip where we all got together and we like told stories about Hunter. Um, but yeah, that is something that happens, and we definitely miss him. I remember when he first died, I used to think about Hunter a lot. I used to think that I saw him around places. Um, you never really get used to like your friend dying. I wouldn't say I've gotten used to it, but I don't see death as an end. I see it as like a new beginning. I feel like Hunter's still with us in spirit. That's the way that I look at it. Then Serena said, I basically do that with my bracelets too. I wear around 25 at once most of the time, a little less right now, where you just wear your bracelets for forever. I understand where you're coming from. Nani said, yeah, I like the camera at the back and the front. For a car? I don't know why I would want a front facing camera. Do you mean like a dash camera to like film where you're going? I also don't like dash cams. I don't think I want a dash cam. I get a rear view cam for like backing up. That makes sense. But a camera in the front, I don't really want that. I don't want to record the stuff on the road. If I have a camera in my car that's not my backing up camera, I would want it to be like a vlogging camera to be like, hey guys, it's your friend, your boy, Jet Black One. I shouldn't look at the camera while I'm driving. Hey guys, it's your friend, your boy, Jet Black, the one and only, here with another exciting live stream. Right now I'm driving a car, so I'm not going to look at the camera. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Let's see. Then Nani said, I have a 2019 Camaro SS. Oh, okay. And then he said Camaros are his favorite cars. Well, good for you, dude. Um, I like Pontiacs, but Pontiac cars are older, so I don't think I actually would want a Pontiac. I just like the visual aesthetic of a Pontiac car. And then Dodge Dart 2. Those are like my only favorite cars I like really fuck with. I just said Sereno. Serena said, "You know what else is an unnecessary additional expense? Are you gonna say getting married?" Then Nani said, "So he was in your dorm? Like he lived with you when you used to stream with like the bunk beds?" No, you're thinking of Daniel. Hunter and I lived. It was freshman year, but it was after my first summer. I started in the summer semester, and then after that in spring semester I lived with Ansel for like half of the spring semester. I was not a fan of living with Ansel. And then after that I moved in with Ray, Jonathan, and Hunter. We each had separate rooms but lived in the same suite, if that made sense. So all our rooms led to the same common area where you have like your living room and you have a kitchen, and then you share a bathroom with like one other person. I shared a bathroom with Jonathan, who lived on the same side of the suite as me, and then Hunter shared a bathroom with Ray, who lived on the other side of the suite. Um, so it wasn't like a bunk bed situation. Then Serena said, "Lol." He said, "I was laughing at the, hey guys, it's yours, your friend, your boy, Jet Black, the one and only. I shouldn't look at the camera while driving." I mean, it's true. You shouldn't look at the camera while driving. Then Serena said, "Yes, I was going to say getting married." Aha, I got it. Then Nani said, "Why didn't you like Ansel?" Okay, so Ansel was an exchange student from China, and he didn't speak a lot of English. I haven't had a lot of good experiences with Ansel. He used to smoke, and he would smoke like in his room, and then the like dorm like common area would like smell like cigarette smoke. And I'm not allergic to cigarette smoke or anything, but I'm not very comfortable with it. When I like smell it, it can like give me headaches and it makes me irritable. I'm not a fan of cigarette smoke. One of the Gabbies I dated smoked cigarettes, and I was totally fine with her doing what she wanted to do. But I would always ask that if she was gonna smoke, that she would like stay away, like don't do that like next to me, because it messes with me. And sometimes she'd hang out with friends who also smoked, and I just have to keep my distance. It gives me like pretty bad headaches. I'm just not a fan. I'm not the kind of person to get migraines regularly, so it's not a thing where I get headaches all the time. But when I'm around people who smoke, I get headaches, and I don't fuck with it. It's just something I would prefer not to do. But Ansel would smoke, and the room would smell like cigarette smoke. He then would get out of the shower and stand naked outside of his room. And then you would walk out and you would see him naked, and he'd look at you like you fucked up, and then he'd be like, "Ugh," and then he'd go in his room like you invaded his privacy. The fuck? He would put grape stems in the shower because he would eat grapes in the shower. And I asked him about it. I was like, "Why are there grape stems in the shower?" And he looks at me and he goes, "That's my shampoo." And then he walks in his room. And I feel like neither of us understood what the fuck was happening. He would get cans of fruit and he would pour the cans of fruit down the drain, not of the kitchen sink, but he would pour them down the drain of the bathroom sink. And there's no like garbage disposal or anything. So he stopped up the bathroom sink, and then I got like Drano, and me and Jonathan tried to like clean out my bathroom sink. And then when we poured the Drano in and we like ran the water, the sink would still overflow. And then a fucking plastic hook that you would like find on like a shirt, like a fucking Hot Topic or something, came out of the fucking drain. So there was a plastic hook in there, and you could tell there were like broken up bits of fruit from when you put all the fucking fruit in the sink. Why would you dump the fruit in the sink? Why would you dump it in the fucking like bathroom sink? It didn't make any sense. I once walked in and the toilet seat was up, and it looked like a fucking horror movie. It looked like there was like brown and like orange black shit caked on it. And I was like, well, what the fuck happened? And I was walking with a group of friends. I was like, hey, you guys gotta see this. What the fuck is this? And like we walk and we look, and I'm like, what is that? What, I couldn't tell if someone threw up. I had no idea what I was looking at. And Ansel, he comes out of the elevator. I see him come out the elevator, and he's like running, like toward the door. And he sees me, and he stops running, and he slows down and walks up. So when he walks up, I point at the toilet. Keep in mind, me and Ansel live on the same side, so we share a bathroom. Our other roommates have their own bathroom on the other side of the room. And we're the only people who have access to this room because the door's locked. We have a key that we use to open our door. So I point at the toilet that me and him share. And I was out hanging out with friends. So I didn't fuck with the toilet. I didn't do anything to the toilet. And I point at the toilet and I go like, "What happened?" And he's like, "I don't know." And he just goes in his fucking room. I have no idea what he did to that toilet, but it was fucked. We had police come to our dorm. They knocked on the door and they were like, "Where's Ansel? His father has been looking for him and hasn't heard from him in weeks." And I was like, "Fuck. When was the last time I saw Ansel? I honestly don't remember the last time I saw Ansel." A few days later, Ansel comes back with multiple bags. You can tell he just returned from a trip. And I was like, "Oh, Ansel, where'd you go?" And he was like, "Las Vegas." And he goes back to his, "Oh, what the fuck happened? Wait, multiple weeks? How did I not notice he was gone? Vegas? He doesn't speak that much English. How did he get to What did he do?" It just seemed like a crazy adventure. Ansel's name is spelled Ajin. It's some shit like that. Ansel. What? How is that? How is that the English translation of his name? That's supposedly his name in English is Ajin, but it's pronounced Ansel? What is that? What are those letters? I don't know. Just and that's my story of why me and Ansel didn't really get along and why I moved out from Ansel's room. I wasn't a fan. So then Nani said, "That's nasty." Sig's inside the room. Then Serena said, "Yikes, lol." Then Nani said, "What the fuck? I would have fought him." Then Serena said, "Oh my god, what?" Then Nani said, "Lamo." Then Serena said, "Lol, lol." Then Serena said, "Can I make an animated video of this?" And then Nani said, "Axel." Yeah, you can make an animated video of this. I'd love that. I'm not sure if you've heard me talk about it, Serena, but I'm accepting fan art and fan fictions. So if you guys have any fan fiction ideas that you'd like me to read dramatically on the channel, feel free to post your fan fictions on the Amino. The link to the Amino is in the description box below. By the way, Amino now has a website. You can go on Amino without having the app. So feel free to hit up our Amino, it's in the description box below, and post your fan fiction starring your boy, Jet Black the One and Only, and I will read them on the channel. Make sure that your fan fictions are 250 words or less. If you really like to make up your own misadventures of me and Ansel going on crazy quest, then make sure that you post your 250 word or less Ansel Jet fan fiction. I'd love to do a dramatic reading of it on the channel. Also, if you have fan art or even fan animations, feel free to post those to the Amino as well. I want to make a slideshow of 10 fan art images made by fans and post it onto the channel, and then post them in sets of 10 and then post larger collections of them when we have more than 10. So definitely feel free to send your fan art, fan animations, and fan fictions our way on the Amino. Let's see. So then Serena said it would be like one of those story time things, and I'd draw and animate it. Kind of like Game Grumps animated, where they take like the audio from them like playing a video game and talking, and then they like put a cartoon on top of it. And then Serena said using the voiceover from this, because that was great. Thank you. I'm glad that you really vibed with it. Nani said lol. Nick and Dozer voiceover. I'd definitely be down with seeing some Nickabenson animated stuff. I think that'd be really cool. Serena said, no, more like Swoozy. Oh, okay. I've watched Swoozy before. It's been a long time since I've seen Swoozy. I've noticed he still uploads stuff, though, which I'm surprised. I don't know how many stories Swoozy can have where he's like, I made out with a girl, or me and a girl hung out, or that one time I worked at Disneyland. Because I feel like that's like most of the Swoozy videos I've seen are that one time I worked at Disneyland, me and a girl made out, me and a girl hung out, girl wanted to fuck but I didn't fuck her. Swoozy stories. That just seems to be like the thing that he does. Then Nani said, oh wait, never mind, that's good from this video. Then Serena said his entire Disneyland playlist is great. I mean, does he still post? Like, my question is, what does he do now? There are only so many girls that Swoozy could have hung out with in like a reasonable time frame to where he's like, I made out with this girl, or this girl wanted to fuck, but I didn't fuck her. Because I feel like, other than the Disneyland videos, those are the stuff that I've seen. Serena said, I don't know what he still does now. Yeah. Then Chupa said, this one time at band camp, yo, welcome to the streams. Good to have you. I'm probably going to stream for 10 more minutes and then take my ass to bed. It's almost 3 a.m. I'm going to end the stream at 3 a.m. It's 2:50 right now. Serena said, I cried my first day at band camp, lol. I'm sorry to hear that, Serena. Were you just not fucking with band camp? Excuse me. I think the only camp style thing I've ever done, like a summer camp thing, was back in elementary school. My first elementary school experience was a summer thing, and it was a church school. It was like First Baptist, and it pretty much was just kindergarten, but you were at a church school. I think I did that for kindergarten and first grade, but I also went to Monrovia Elementary for kindergarten and first grade. So it's essentially my parents going, yeah, you're just gonna go to a fucking other place during the summer so we don't have to deal with you or whatever. So it was just like going to school multiple times. I didn't really get the point. Like looking back on it, that feels weird. I don't know why they had me do that. But I essentially just only went to First Baptist for the summer as like a summer school kind of thing. But it wasn't like I made bad grades. You can't even make bad grades in kindergarten and first grade, I don't think. So yeah, they just had me go, I guess, to waste time during the summer. I don't know. I don't know what I would have done with that time as a kid. Probably write. I wrote a lot of stories back then. I still write a lot of stories. Um, but that's the closest thing I ever had to like a summer camp thing. Let's see. Nani said, Nick. Yo, Nani. Then Serena said, no, it was back when I still passed out all the time. You used to pass out all the time? I think this was either before I met you or something that I just didn't know. Nani said, do you have PlayStation Plus? I don't have PlayStation Plus. Um, I used to do this thing where I would make a new PlayStation Plus free trial every time the free trial ended, and then just keep doing that to perpetually have PlayStation Plus. I could technically still do that whenever I want, but I just haven't been motivated to. I don't play PlayStation 4 often enough to get the most out of the 2 week trial. So I'll reset it for 2 weeks, then maybe use PlayStation Plus a couple times, and then just have to reset it again. It just feels like a chore. The Nani said the game For Honor is free for PlayStation Plus. He said, get it, you're gonna like it. I'm actually not a fan of For Honor. I've played a little bit of it at Dozers. It's just not really my cup of tea. Serena said, I downloaded it too. And then Nani said, good. He said, Hitman is free too. For Honor and Hitman. Hitman wouldn't be bad. I like the idea of you doing the same mission multiple different ways where you have to kill a target, but they give you this world where you can like kill the target in a whole bunch of different ways. I don't think I would want to get Hitman though. The game that I would want for killing a target multiple different ways in like a big world would be, I think it's called Metal Gear Solid Phantom Pain or whatever. No, I think it's just called Metal Gear Solid 5. I have seen some crazy shit in that game. Yeah, yeah, Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain. If they had that instead of Hitman, I think I would get that. I think that is like a superior kind of Hitman thing. Only because I've seen people fool around in the open world and kill people in the craziest ways. I think that's pretty dope. Serena said, you knew me my first year of marching band, so yeah. Oh, okay. Did we ever talk about the passing out thing? The passing out thing does sound new to me. I don't know why. Maybe I just don't remember for whatever reason. Also, 6 minutes. Got 6 minutes left. If you guys have any additional discussion topics or questions, this is the time to hit me up with those questions. Then Nani said, why didn't you like it? So I think that's Nani asking me why I didn't like For Honor. So for For Honor, why I didn't like it. It's not like Soul Calibur is a dumb answer, but it's like one of the best answers I have. When it comes to like a weapons based fighting game, I only really have two examples. Soul Calibur. I used to play Soul Calibur on Dreamcast, and then since then I've played a little bit of Soul Calibur at college for Soul Calibur 6, and I played a little bit of Soul Calibur when I got challenged at the CU and I lost to this really annoying guy named Lance. Um, and then the fucking PlayStation equivalent of Wii Sports, like PlayStation Move Sports Collection, the Gladiator game. That's my favorite fucking weapons fighting game I've ever played, and it's a motion controls based game. That shit was hella fun. I actually wouldn't mind getting an equivalent game to that for my PlayStation 4. I got the fucking camera. I just gotta buy like the PlayStation Move controllers. Matter of fact, I have PlayStation Move controllers for the PlayStation 3. I'm curious if they would work for the PlayStation 4. Because I wouldn't mind getting another game like that. That gladiator style combat with the move controllers, where one is like your sword and one is your shield or whatever. You fucking fight in the gladiator arena. That was ballin'. For Honor, I don't really fuck with it. It's hard to compare to playing a game where you have to actively move and hold the shield and hold the sword in actuality, versus playing a game where it's like triggers and you move around. It's just not the same. I would say I preferred that Gladiator game over the gameplay of Soul Calibur 6. I really liked getting into it. I liked blocking the strikes and shit. Until you're giving me those motion controls for a Gladiator type of sword and shield thing, I'm probably not going to fuck with it that hard. Then Serena said, I don't know, but I had started drinking a lot more water around then, so I was making attempts to control it at the time. Interesting. Does drinking water stop you from passing out? I don't fully understand. Then Nani said, "Why don't you get a VR, like a VR headset?" There's not enough good VR games coming out. So VR headsets are expensive. It's like buying a console. Um, because PS VR, which is a dumb name. I loved it when they were calling it Project Morpheus. PSVR. Yeah, a PSVR can go as high as $400 and as low as like 270, 260. Fuck that, dude. Um, because the PS4, the one that I have right in front of me, $300. Why would I spend almost the equivalent amount of money that I spent on like my whole PS4 to get a VR headset? That is so trash. And then I have to buy VR games for it because I don't have any VR games right now. I'll look at the VR games since we only have like 2 minutes left, like right now, and see what VR games I'd really fuck with. I might move this tab to my laptop screen just to make it easier to look at. Borderlands 2 and Beat Saber. No, I'm good on both those. Games, please. Yeah, show me games. Oh, here we go. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Think fast on the Magic School Bus. Astrobot Rescue Mission, no thank you. Borderlands 2. Recently released games. I got a Rick and Morty thing. Wipeout, nope. That's Accounting Plus. Doom VR. I've never been a big Doom guy. Well, let's look at the Spark game. Spark looks cool. So I just saw a game that kind of reminded me of Tron. Ooh, I think it just straight up is Tron. It's a unique physical sport only possible in virtual reality, in which players compete in fast paced, full body VR gameplay and connect in an online community. Yeah, and it just straight up looks like a Tron disc style thing. Throw, dodge, block, and deflect in full body VR gameplay. I think I like that. So that's one game so far that I've like said I'd fuck with in VR. I want a lot of stuff that's the full body. You move around, you got two motion controllers just fucking shit up. Then Nani said, "Do they have VR chat?" VR chat I know is on the Oculus Rift. I'm not sure if it's on PlayStation VR. I'll look it up. Ding 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 ding. Let's see. I haven't really heard a lot about VR chat since the fucking whatchamacallit. Um Uganda Knuckles meme. That really blew up and then I just like haven't heard about it. Do 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 What are all the platforms you can get it on? I don't think so. When I like Googled it, it showed a bunch of things where people are like, how you can put VR chat on your PS4, which implies that it's not normally on it. They should probably do that though. Also, it's 3 a.m. I gotta go to bed. I'd like to thank you all for watching. If you like this video, make sure to smash that like button, favorite, comment, subscribe, and ding ding ding. Ring that notification bell to be notified whenever we do these live streams. As your host, your friend, your boy, Jet Black, the one and only, logging out. Thank you, Nani. Thank you, Serena. Thank you, Dozer. Thank you, Chupa. Thank you, Kels. Scrolling through trying to make sure that I like shouted out everybody. Dozer, Kels, Nani, Serena, Chupa. Yep, we got 5 likes and that's 5 shoutouts. So I think that was everybody that was on the stream. Pretty sure. But yeah, I hope you all have a wonderful night. Thank you all once again for tuning in. This is your host, your friend, your boy, Jet Black, the one and only, logging out. Peace. Thank you again. And stay tuned. Tomorrow, well, I guess not tomorrow, in like a few hours, I'm going to post up the fan poll. Make sure to vote in the fan poll for what you want to see on the channel next.